Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of my art journal journey. I am Katia with Lunar Sun Creations, and today I am once again working with the Infusions. They are a really highly pigmented powder with little tiny specks of walnut in them that create a really cool vintage kind of vibe the more liquid you add to them. So normally they will be used with water. I am going to be using them with a multi-matte medium, so it still has moisture which will activate them, but not to the extent where they will kind of burst open with color. This whole idea that I'm doing today was inspired by Umut's art journal on YouTube. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Umut, M-U-M-U-T, I believe it is. She has some great art journaling ideas, and so she very much inspired me in what I'm going to do today. I'm quite new to art journaling, so I'm definitely finding inspiration in people that I admire, and she is one of those people. So I'm just wanting to create, my idea was to create a grass and sky scene. So I am doing, this is going to be representative of grass, that's why I'm going up and down with the greens. I'm using some green man and some moss colored and olive, I believe it was, in the Infusions. No, it was Emerald Isle and the green man and olive. Those are the three greens that I used for the grass. So just adding more of the matte medium and kind of getting different tones of green happening there. When I'm happy with the color that I have, I make sure it's all dry. And then I'm gonna rip it. So I'm just creating like a kind of like a line that looks like, you know, the earth, you know, just a ground line. This one didn't rip quite the way I wanted it to, so you'll see that I go in and I wanted a little bit of an edge, but not that much. I ripped it at an odd angle. So I've got the page underneath on both sides is blank, and I've got paper towel there right now so that the green didn't go through. Now I'm going to remove the paper towel, and I'm going to do a sky scene on the top of the opposite two pages. So I've got some Violet Storm and in the Navy Infusions, and I want to create a kind of sky scene. So I'm still using the multi-matte medium, and I've learned now that you don't need very much of this stuff, so I'm finally figuring it out that you only need a few specks. Instead of going crazy with it, I kind of go crazy with most things. Everything is extra. So I wanted to go with my brush strokes the opposite way from the grass because I wanted this to be the sky, and so then I'm going to glue the green grass page onto the sky page with some Mod Podge. So I'm just smoothing the Mod Podge with a sponge brush there. And now we've got the grass and the sky. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side of the page. Poof, instant sky. I decided to kind of do a little bit of like a wavy texture. I guess in my head it was kind of symbolizing wind or something. I was thinking of adding clouds, but ended up not doing that. putting the rest of the grass, gluing it down to the opposite side. And I left the very tips of the ground, like where the white is, I left those not completely adhered because I wanted to add some bits and pieces in behind it later. So I've got some Distress ink in walnut stain, and I'm just doing, I just wanted to make the edge look just a little bit more dirt-like. So I'm just adding a little bit of the walnut stain to the edges. Not an extreme amount, just enough that it's not stark white. And I also wanted the edges to have a little bit of a curl to them, a little bit more of a texture. So now I've got an Altenew stamp called, I think it was Persian Motifs, I think it was called. So I did this off screen, but I stamped quite a few of those flowers in just a plain archival ink, black ink. And then I cut them all out and colored them with these tri-blend markers. I just put all the colors that I used on the screen there for you. So they're really cool. They have 3 different shades of the same color in each marker so that you can kind of blend things together. They're called Spectrum Noir. So I colored all those out, I colored them all and then fussy cut them. Fussy cutting is not my forte, so they are not perfect, but I fussy cut them to the best of my ability. And then I placed them where I thought I might want them, and then started adhering them down using Mod Podge. So I'm just taking the one layer off so I could get to that top layer. And so I just literally use Mod Podge and a sponge brush and just make sure the whole back is covered in that adhesive, and then tuck them in underneath the little bit of grass there. I realized I just did quotation marks when I said grass, and I'm like, they can't see that. This is a voiceover. They can't see my fingers doing things. I'm not used to doing voiceovers quite yet. I hope they're okay. Anyway, so here I am just putting down all my flowers. I just did them in a multitude of colors. I just wanted to be really cheerful and colorful this page. And then I started adding like a second layer of them just because I didn't want everything to just be in one line. So I added a second layer underneath. And then remember when I tore the grass, there was still a little bit left. So I'm kind of tearing a bit more and making like another layer of grass almost. I decided that white was a bit too much, so I'm tearing off a bit more. Just want it to be a thin layer of grass, just so the flowers look like they're resting on something, so they're a little bit grounded. And it also adds more texture to the page. So I did that on the opposite side as well. And then I glued those down with Mod Podge. And then I decided that there was a bit too much white because this hadn't been really part of my original plan. So I just put a tiny bit of crystals right onto my brush, and then spritzed it with water and had a little bit of matte medium still on there, and just kind of tried to blend those extra pieces into the rest of the design a little bit. They didn't stand out quite so much. Now it almost looks like there's like kind of rolling hills of flowers, so I kind of like that. And then I had a whole bunch of little tiny little leaves and extra little bits from that stamp set. And so I used some Mod Podge that was on the brush and just kind of placed them all over the place just to make the page a little bit more full and hide some of the stark lines of the green there. I want it to be a little bit more full and have a bit more texture and interest to it. And then I added a couple sentiment strips from Tim Holtz and added a few more pieces around those sentiment strips. I think I show what they say in some photos in just a little bit. I know the first one says something about having a good heart, but I can't remember exactly what it says. It's only been a few days and I already forget. I'm not in my studio at the moment when I'm recording this voiceover, so I can't remember what they say. They say good things though. So just adjusting all the placement of the little bits and pieces and getting it to a point that I like it. And there it is. What does it say? The beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. And then the other one, no, I didn't get close enough to read it. It's kind of a complimentary saying. Anyway, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed this kind of, not really a tutorial, but a little project. And I'm going to keep playing. I'm enjoying this art journal thing, so I'm going to keep going with it. So I hope you will follow along my journey. Have an awesome day. Bye. Thanks for watching.